Now on ITV, what do you reckon? Would life on a desert island really be a pure escape? New tonight, Robson Green goes in search of paradise. Just call him Robson Crusoe on a surprising adventure.
The Tooth Fairy bought me a £2 coin, shiny like gums on its faces. Next year she bought me the family silver, fillings, crowns and braces.
Far away in the South China Sea, there lies a deserted tropical island. And I, Robson Green, am about to go and live on it.
That there is my island.
To spend time on a remote, isolated island paradise is a dream I've had for 40 years. A dream inspired by a book I discovered as a young boy.
And that's when I was first introduced to this. The life and surprising adventures of Robinson Crusoe. When this was first read to me, it left a big impression.
It's the fictional story of a man marooned on an island. And to a lad from rainy Northumberland, it sounded like the ultimate boy's own adventure. Ever since then, I've dreamed of what it might be like to live in harmony with nature on just such an island. To disconnect from the pressures of modern life. And now, I'm about to find out. I'm going to be living out my dream on my very own desert island.
Will you look at that?
Following in Crusoe's sandy footsteps, age and ability permitting. I'm a bit older than he was in the book, just. But will it be the paradise I imagined all those years ago? Or will it be something else entirely? The first thing I need for my desert island adventure is, well, a desert island. Robinson Crusoe was set in the Caribbean, but that's a haven for tourists and cruise ships nowadays. So I'm heading over 6,000 miles east of Northumberland to the Philippines, where there's a tiny, uninhabited island just waiting for me.
There's a lot of islands down there, and one of them has my name on it.
It's called North Guntao, and it's not on the tourist trail. It's properly remote. After 2 days of travel, this is as close as I can get to it by plane. So I'm getting off at the tiny airport next to the nearest town, El Nido.
How cool is that? Love it! Loving this place already.
From El Nido, it's a bus ride for about 20 miles, then a boat for another few miles, until I arrive at a remote fishing village called Sitio Catolden.
Cheers.
Where I'll be overnighting before I sail out to North Guntao in the morning. Sitio Catolden is home to the Tagbanwa people, who live here in perfect harmony with their surroundings. It's an inspiring place.
I'm loving the look of these little wooden homes, you know, all made from natural resources. There's not a brick or breeze block in sight.
The Tagbanwa have developed impressive skills to create shelter from what surrounds them. That's the kind of life I'm hoping to get a taste of. So I'm keen to pick up any tips while I'm here.
I'm so excited about building my own house.
But there are some things about island life that don't look quite so easy.
Would I do something like this on my own? And the answer is no. Whoa!
The Tagbanwa are kindly sharing a dinner of locally caught fish.
May I? Here we go.
And it's my final night on a comfy bed, because in the morning, they're going to sail me over to my island destination. So tomorrow, my real adventure begins.
I guess it's goodbye to electricity, comfy bed, and air conditioning. But I think there's one thing that'll stay with me on this adventure. And it's in this room. Can you hear it? Mosquito. And when that stops, you know the bastard is about to strike. Hate them.
Sunrise means it's time to get ready. Robinson Crusoe had a small menagerie keeping him company. So I'm taking a chicken, who'll hopefully provide some company, if not a few eggs.
There you go, Chuck.
Oh. Chuck. Yeah, Chuck. That's what I'll call him.
The boat ride to my island will take about 3 hours. The Tagbanwa know these waters well and have promised to show me some of the sights along the way.
Be really careful. Don't get the guitar wet, please.
They've also promised to come back and get me in a week's time. I wonder whether I'll actually want to leave. My journey will take me out into the South China Sea before arriving at North Guntao, about 700 miles north of the equator.
Some of these islands have been untouched since the beginning of time. I feel as though I'm traveling to the land that time forgot.
Eventually, it's there, on the horizon.
That there is my island. Wow.
At last. I'm here.
And so, 4 days and nearly 7,000 miles after leaving Newcastle upon Tyne, I finally arrived. Just like Robinson Crusoe's tropical island, North Guntao has steep slopes, lush vegetation, and a shoreline of rock and sand. It's almost joined to South Guntao by a sandbar. What a place for a boyhood adventure.
Bye. Goodbye. When you picking me up? I forgot.
Oh, they've gone. Right, quick check. See if it is uninhabited.
Hello! Hello! Hello!
Can you imagine if someone went, "Hello, Rob"?
Okay, day one, time to get started. The first thing I need to do is build a camp. It's hot. In fact, I'm sweating in parts I didn't know I had, and I don't have time to build a full-scale beach house. So I'm going to start with something simple.
Right, I'm going to need a shelter and bed for the night. Unlike Europe, they have 2 seasons here. They have wet and dry, and it's the latter. So I don't need protection from rain, from the sun. So I'm going to build a quick lean-to. Lovely 2 spars here. Put some foliage over here, hopefully. That'll create shadow. Put my bed here. Sleep for the night. Bob's your uncle. It's a good one.
So here we go. Time to build my first island home.
Right, I need 4 main struts for the bed.
I've got about 3 hours before it starts getting dark at 6:15, so I'd better get cracking.
There's one.
My shelter will have a raised bed, which should keep me safe from the occasional snakes and lizards that live on this island. Nothing compared to the beasts and cannibals that worried Robinson Crusoe, of course.
The only creatures I'm worried about are the sandflies. They're kind of the SAS of insects. I've read about this. They go up your leg and they get into parts other insects can't reach. I promise you, sandflies get up your bottom and they have parties. And then they make the rest of your body look like a pizza. There's 3. There's one more. Always remember to chop away with this thing. One wrong move
And then's my femoral artery gone. 4th strut. Excellent. You're right there, Chuck. You all right, mate? You're all right. I'll get you some water. No worries. The sooner I get this up, the better. I'll tell you what, that stuff there, who needs twine when you got stuff like this? Perfect. That'll really work. Seems easy enough, but in this heat, it's so difficult. Oh, I'm getting a bit dizzy now. Right, length of the bed. I'm nearly 6 foot. All right, 5'8". That's why I never got cast as Bond. It's the only reason. I'm too short. So, a foot either side of my one.
It's nearly 3 p.m. and the temperature is pushing 100 degrees. But working out bed measurements in fierce heat might not be my biggest problem right now.
Whatever I ate on that boat coming over has not agreed with me. I don't know if it's the heat. Oh, dear me. Oh, that's not a good start. Not a good start.
If there's one thing I don't want to be dealing with on a desert island, it's food poisoning.
I feel bloody awful.
With my condition worsening, the doctor is called in.
I just feel a bit dizzy. I've got a bad stomach.
Dizzy?
Yeah, I've been sick.
And you're vomiting?
Yeah.
The doc suspects gastroenteritis, which can lead to dehydration, and in this heat, that can be dangerous. He wants me off the island immediately. I'm devastated.
My father will be turning in his grave.
So, just 3 hours into my adventure, I'm being medevaced out. Not very Robinson Crusoe.
My dad used to say, failure's just an event, son, it's not a person. It's how you recover from your failure. What a disaster.
This should have been my first night as a castaway. Instead, I'm in a hotel room with a drip in my arm. Not the desert island dream I was imagining. My Robinson Crusoe-inspired adventure has so far put me in a hotel room with a drip in my arm.
Chapter 1 of my story arrived on the island, and then this happened.
But I've had 3 litres of fluid in my veins, and after a day's rest, I reckon I'll be as good as new.
You're an angel sent from the heavens, Doc. Thanks, Lenny. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Right.
Okay.
So, back to the story. Where were we?
I admit, it's a terrible, if not diabolical start. But I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm more determined than ever now. Are you listening, Dad? There's nothing like the threat of fatal dehydration to make you realize how critical water is for survival, especially in 90-degree heat. Robinson Crusoe found a freshwater spring close to his shelter, and the Tagbanwa told me there's one on the South Island. So I'm paddling off to find it.
Now that is a beautiful island. And it doesn't take a clever person to work out. Where there are palm trees with coconuts and other lush vegetation, there is the elixir of life. Fresh water.
I've been told to look for some markings on the rocks left by local fishermen. I'm using a banker, a local version of Crusoe's canoe, and I can tell you, with one paddle in this heat, it's hard work.
There it is.
After that journey, I'm really looking forward to my cool, clear freshwater. All I need to do is find the stream.
I can see trickles of what I'm after. Yes, yes, yes. Aha! Ooh. Doesn't look very drinkable, does it? But it's a start.
I don't think Robinson Crusoe would have been put off by a bit of algae and a few dead flies, so neither will I. Besides, I've got a trick up my sleeve that should transform this miserable puddle into something drinkable. All I need is 3 sticks, some string, and a t-shirt.
That should do. All the nasty big bits, the sediment, sunk to the bottom of the water. Now I need to filter it. This will be the perfect filter. And I'm just tearing up bits of a t-shirt. And I am leaking. I've sweated about, I don't know, a litre. So this is what happens in this heat.
In the dry season, it's easy to sweat over 1.5 litres per hour. By the time I've finished, I'll be lucky just to replace the fluid I've lost.
Stretch that leg out. Stretch that leg out. So when the water lands on it, just take it down to the centre.
Right, step 1, filtration.
It's working. I'm so happy. It's so satisfying when a plan comes together. It works, man. It bloody works. It's great.
My t-shirt has sifted out all the big bits that are floating around. But though it may look fine, the water is still not safe to drink. Now, I need to sterilise it.
Got to boil it for about 30 minutes. Big bubbles, no troubles. That's what the experts say. Big bubbles, no troubles. Because it rhymes.
But in these parts, boiling is still not enough to kill everything that might be floating in it. So I'm going totally belt and braces.
Purification tablet.
Now, all I need to do is wait for it to cool. And my fresh, clearish water is finally ready to drink.
That's not bad. I'm actually shocked. I was waiting for it to taste like you know what, but that's absolutely fine. It's got a kind of chlorine-y taste to it, but that's fine.
In the book, Crusoe finds fresh water very easily and doesn't have to go through this palaver. Just as well, he wouldn't have had time to do anything else. Now, on with my shelter.
Who needs a foam-covered mattress when you've got bamboo, eh? Lash on the vines, and then I will have shelter from the sun. It's a good knot, the clove-hitch. Will not slip at all. Nice and strong.
Crusoe started off by making a tent from the sails of his ship. I don't have a ship, so it's bushcraft for me.
I was in the Scouts, you know. I never thought it would come in handy.
And there you have it. My home for the next few days, with a nice, quiet neighbour for company. Bliss. Crusoe made a hollowed-out canoe. But rather than go fishing when his supplies ran out, he grew barley and hunted animals. I've been an angler all my life, so I'm taking to the sea for my dinner. And the 11-year-old boy in me can't wait.
Time to drop anchor. Not what you call state-of-the-art, but it'll do the job.
I'm using a hand line and hermit crab for bait, which should prove irresistible to the fish that live in these waters, like grouper and snapper.
What a great way to end the day. Nice spot of fishing. Right. Let's see if the fish are interested in a bit of hermit crab.
Just had a little inquiry there.
But, as any angler will tell you, little inquiries don't always lead to big offers. And as the sun descends, so do my hopes.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the fishing's perfect. Look at that sunset. An outstanding vista. Fishing's wonderful. All that's missing is a fish.
For me, the joy of fishing is always dented if you don't catch. In this case, the joy of eating dinner has also been dented.
What a shame. I really thought I was going to catch.
So, as darkness falls on my first full day, the crew head off, leaving me to spend the night alone in my shelter. At least that was the intention.
Really proud of that shelter. And you're probably wondering why am I not sleeping in it? Well, the mosquito net is as much use as a waterproof tea bag. It doesn't have a bottom on it. Which means the mosquitoes can get in and there's a risk of malaria around here. And it's a risk, sadly, I'm not willing to take. So tonight, I shall be sleeping in that.
So far, this adventure is not going to plan. Oh well, there's always tomorrow, when I plan to survey my new kingdom.
Will you look at that?
Then start living off the land.
Yes!
The sun went down perfectly clear and rose so the next morning. And with little or no wind and a smooth sea, the sun shining upon it, the sight was, as I thought, the most delightful I ever saw. I know exactly what Daniel Defoe was thinking about when he wrote that. How many of us get time to spend on our own? No connection with the outside world. Just taking time to be. I think a lot of people get confused with being alone, with loneliness. You know, sometimes it's good to get away from the hectic things in life and just recharge. Otherwise you can't do those hectic things. That's my take on it, I don't know. I'm just thinking this morning, I feel really lucky.
Once Robinson Crusoe had sorted out his accommodation and food supply, he found a vantage point to survey his new kingdom. My island has a craggy limestone ridge, and I bet the view is pretty spectacular up there. So, I'm going to take a look.
What a view.
Now this does look like paradise, untouched by modern humans. In fact, the rock I'm walking on has been sunbaked for about 200 million years.
This ground's like scorched earth. You know, it's still early morning. That temperature's hit about 100. Will you look at that? You have there nothing but the South China Sea. And over here, we have home. Crusoe felt like a king when he was surveying his land because it was his kingdom. You know, in this place, I can do anything I want. Yeah, I can go fishing, I can go swimming, investigating, just do stuff. And not have anyone giving me that, giving it here.
In fact, it's so quiet up here, the only sounds that you will hear are made by the residents. And there are one or two that I'm not so sure about.
Is that what I think it is? No, it's a snake. That is a rather large bee, size of a blackbird. All right.
That's a paradise flying snake, and yes, it can fly, or at least glide when it launches from a great height, which might be why it's up here, although I'm not stopping to find out. It's time to get back to my beach and rescue my angling reputation. Crusoe managed to grow rice and barley, but I'm in the mood for something much tastier. And I have a plan, involving a rock, a coconut, and a piece of string.
When I find the fish, I need to remember where they are, so I'm making a little buoy system. When the tide rises and falls, that can go up and down as the water goes up and down.
Next step, check the seabed to find the best spot for the buoy. Fish love structure, so a rocky reef is perfect. These guys are too small to eat, but since little fish get eaten by bigger fish, this tunnel should be like a drive-through diner for what I'm after. Three hours till sundown. Tonight I could be eating a freshly caught fish, barbecued on my very own beach. I can't wait.
As soon as this hits the bottom, I should be getting bites.
I'm not fishing for sport here. I'm fishing to put food on the table. But it's not exactly going to plan.
2 hours left.
It looks like the bigger fish are all off hunting on someone else's reef. Don't get me wrong, the fishing is wonderful. It's the catching that is awful.
I mean, come on, look at that. A kebab of hermit crab. I would eat that.
And I'll be honest, at this point, I'm tempted. I thought I had plenty of time to catch dinner and rescue my angling reputation. Not anymore.
That sun will set in 1 hour. 1 hour.
Catching a fish has become the most important thing in my world right now.
Oh, I have a terrible sense of foreboding.
Time to head home. Empty-handed. Again.
You laid any eggs yet, Chuck? What's the point of being a chicken if you can't lay eggs? Listen, you don't get your act together. Got one word for you, casserole.
I'm not gonna eat that chicken.
Lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely. I wish that I could go back home. I don't really want to go home, I'm just filling in time. It's the best I could think of. Oh. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want... Yeah, all right. I won't, I promise you.
My second night of sleeping alone. At least this time, I'm in my shelter. But it's still a long way from my idea of an island paradise.
I'm hungry. I'm angry because I didn't catch fish. I'm tired because, well, I'm tired. So I'm going to dream about catching fish tomorrow. I know, but that's my world at the moment. Robinson Crusoe, good night. I must look quite a sight. I'm wrecked and I'm hungry and it's too windy for fishing. I've got to eat. Right, time to hunt the coconut.
When Crusoe went exploring, he found a wooded area where lots of fruit was growing. Inspired both by this and my growing hunger, I'm heading to the South Island to explore the coconut palms.
You seen how high up they are? How am I gonna get them down?
It's not even 8 in the morning and the scorching sun is already sapping my energy. But if I can get one, the coconut should fulfill all my needs.
An average-sized coconut, it's got 1,000 calories in it. It's nearly half the necessary daily intake. How am I going to get up there?
Someone's been here before. There are some old steps cut into the tree trunk. But I think they were designed for someone much taller and much younger than me.
I'm too old. Just too old. Right. Plan B. That's just a pretty face, you know.
Yes, I know. It's a long shot. I get it. A long oh, never mind.
Come on. Come on, it's a matter of time. Yes! It worked! Hello? Never have I been so happy to see a coconut. You beauty.
I reckon I found the knack.
Yes! Oh, it's like buses now.
Manna from heaven. Carbs, protein, fats and vitamin C, all in a handy container.
Oh, that meant everything. You know, people say vegetables taste better when you grow them yourself. Food out here tastes like nectar when you get it yourself.
At last, I'm starting to have the adventures that I imagined as a boy.
I love palm trees.
But no sooner does it feel like I'm getting the hang of it, I'm reminded I'm not in Northumberland anymore.
Something crawling around towards my camp.
Hi there. That's £53, please.
Paying for other people's bad driving. There's no excuse for that. At Aviva, safer drivers could save an average of £170 on our car insurance. Download the Aviva Drive app to see if you could save.
Jet2 Holidays. Package holidays you can trust. ATOL protected.
I'm on a tropical island living my very own Robinson Crusoe dream. And I'm really starting to love it.
You beauty.
One thing I remember from the book is that once Robinson Crusoe had established his homestead, he started to live a very elegant life. So with an energy boost from the coconuts, it's time to take my living quarters to the next level.
Think I can see what I'm after.
It took Crusoe 1.5 years to move up the property ladder from his tent to something more substantial, built from what he could find. I've only been here 5 days, but I'm already feeling the need to expand my living quarters.
This jungle isn't only a supermarket, it's also builders merchants. Got all the material I need to build myself a new home.
Wild bamboo is the ultimate beach house building kit.
5, 6, 7, 8 and a bit. One living room coming up. You know what, I think I'm just going to leave the front open. Wake up in the morning, there's your view. Why would I want to spoil that?
Windows are just the walls you don't build when you're doing things Robinson Crusoe style.
Yeah, and come down a smidgen there. But yeah, looking good.
It's so satisfying to be creating my own beach house. It's such a fundamental feeling, wanting to put a roof over your head, even if it's only made of bamboo.
You know, my dad, God rest his soul, miner for most of his life, used to say, one of the most insidious crimes we commit as individuals is when ambition falters and you accept your limitations. It's not enough just to want, son, he'd say. You got to ask yourself, what are you going to do to get the things you want? Chuffed for this. Really chuffed. Let's create a wall. Put a whole line of these along the back, tie them to the struts, another layer on top to make them windproof and stop the sun from getting in. I love palm trees.
After an hour and a half, the sun calls time on the construction work. And I'm not going to complain.
I'm worked. Man, I have put in a shift today. Time to wind down. It's not finished, but I don't care. Lying on that bed, look at that view. People would pay thousands for that. Thousands. Yeah. I've got a feeling I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. Oh. Look at that view of the stars. I hope it doesn't rain.
My second last day on the island, and I'm off early to fulfill my ambition of actually catching and cooking some fish. Having failed twice on my local patch, I think what I probably need to do is to head out to deeper waters. Although I can't check out the seabed, my angling instincts tell me this could be the place.
That was an inquiry. Let me just hammer it on. Yeah. It's not big, but that was a bite. Come on. Come on. Something just walloped onto my hermit crab bait. What do we have here? Please let it be dinner. Please let it not be weed. Yeah.
Finally! And where there's one fish feeding, there are usually plenty more.
Yeah. Oh. As soon as it hit the bottom, I got a bite. As soon as it hit the bottom, stay on, stay on. Yes! You on? Yeah, that's a fish. That's a fish. Second cast, second fish. Because I might have two on, actually. Because there was 2 hits, 2 hooks. Yeah, what we got here? Yep, 2 fish. 2 lovely fish. Ah. Yeah, they're called Fusiliers, I think. Yeah. Excellent.
Fusiliers are cousins of the snapper and are good eating. Time for breakfast. It's the meal I'd been dreaming of. Barbecued on my very own beach.
Yeah. That was quick. And that was good. It's amazing what a small bit of glass in the sunshine will do for you, isn't it?
So, flame-grilled line-caught Fusilier with a side of pole-harvested coconut. At last, a meal from my kingdom.
How delicious. Look at what this land has provided. Just fresh, straight from the sea. Stomach full, I need to finish the homestead. It's my last night, and I want to do it in style. And it's time for Chuck to move into a new coop. Bigger, brighter, and with a much better view. Don't open them yet. Don't open them. Ta-da! You like it? Yeah? Yep. You want to have a look inside? It's okay. Here you go. There you go. Yeah. Have a little peruse. Got a nice space. Got a lovely view, Chuck. That's it. It's coconut. Enjoy yourself. That's for you. Yeah. Picked by my own fair hand. Got the water for you. I've even made you a bed, Chuck. This beach is really starting to feel like home. She's clucking away there. Once you've got your food, water and shelter, I reckon the biggest challenge for living on a desert island is passing the time. I don't know how I'd cope with that for 28 years like Crusoe managed, but for now, work done. There's only one thing the 11-year-old lad in me wants to do. There you go, Alan. It's Shearer. It's got no hair. Sorry, Alan. There's something about a beach that brings out the child in everyone. Capacity crowd. 120,000 chanting his name. He's just waiting for the whistle. And they're off! Oh! He goes by Shearer with ease, as though Shearer wasn't there. He takes it round Messi, and Messi seems in a right mess. That move was poetry. He nutmegs the player, and the player's only got one leg. Goes through. It's 1-0. It's 1-0. 1-0. It's 1-0. When Crusoe was shipwrecked, he called his new domain an island of despair. But when he came to terms with it, he realized it was the most pleasant place in the world. I'm starting to get the same feeling. Peace and quiet. Well, not entirely. So much for the solitude and silence. At night, here, it's absolute bedlam. Listen to that. What is that noise? Something's crawling around, or some things are crawling around. What the heck? Oh, there you go. I am surrounded by literally hundreds, if not thousands, of hermit crabs. I'll just check on Chuck. Then it's bed for the night. How are you doing, Chuck? You okay? Oh. Chuck! Ah, she's all right. Oh, talking to a chicken. It's good to do everything you need to do to get ready, start your day. As soon as that sun rises, you've got enough light, start getting your tasks done. Because come 11 o'clock, between then and, say, even 3 o'clock, it's just too hot to do anything. Morning, Chuck. How are you? You good? You seem happy enough. Coconut's empty. Right, another task for this morning. Feed my friend. There you go, look. There you go. You know you have a sense of freedom when on a hot day you can do something like this. Here's a little song I wrote. So, my Robinson Crusoe adventure is coming to an end. Don't worry. Be happy.
And although I couldn't imagine this life for the 28 years, 2 months and 19 days that Crusoe managed, my time here has given me a little taste of being a castaway.
I mean, after the hiccup at the start, you know, like Crusoe in the novel, I started to consider what I enjoyed and not what I wanted. What I enjoyed was the satisfaction of filtering water through a T-shirt and 3 sticks. What I enjoyed was knocking a coconut out of a tree with a pole. Yeah. Love looking after Chuck. Just nurturing life. It's a lovely thing. And these last few days have been good for the soul. I have this sense of well-being. What does Crusoe say in the book? Oh, happy desert, I shall see thee no more. This isn't a desert to me, this is absolute paradise. Been an experience I'll never forget. Ever. What am I going to miss? Everything. And right on cue, true to their word, the Tagbanwa arrived to bring my adventure to an end. I'm alive! How you doing? Good to see you, man. Look at that. You like it? Be very careful with this lady. Think the world of her. There you go. Ooh. That's it.
So what would I tell my 11-year-old self who daydreamed about being Robinson Crusoe marooned on a desert island? Well, practice climbing palm trees. Check your mosquito net before leaving home. Always carry a machete. Keep an eye on flying snakes.
Well, next this Tuesday night, all the very latest ITV News at 10. Then tomorrow night at 8, there's brand new drama, Barnaby's on a case where Neighbourhood Watch is no protection against a midsummer murder. And A Cold Case brings more new drama on Thursday at 9. It's the start of a brand new series of Unforgotten.